today is a really good day because I finally have plates for my bus. My bus is officially registered as a motorhome in Colorado, and this has been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, this has been a long time coming. I have had my bus for over 2 years now, and I have absolutely 100% been avoiding this process. When I first got it, I did go to register it, and then I ended up finding out that I had to do a bunch of things like get a VIN verification, get an emissions test, all that kind of stuff. And quite frankly, being a new owner of a bus, I was scared of that. That scared me off. So I just put it on the back burner and avoided it. And you know, my logic was I'll just wait until I can register it as an RV before I register it. But then that meant I was moving it back and forth and doing all the things without it being registered. So it's fine. It's fine. I paid the price for that. So yeah, it is registered now. I finally did it, you guys. So I just actually wanted to make a video and walk you guys through what I did to title my bus. That was an out-of-state bus that I bought in Iowa, and I titled it here in Colorado, and the steps that I had to go through in order to do that, and the steps that I had to go through in order to title it as a motorhome. So the first thing you need is a title. Duh. And that title needs to be properly signed over, so don't screw that part up. If you need to, watch a video online on how to do that, because yeah, you just do not want to screw your title up. You'll have to get a replacement, and if you can't get a hold of the person that you bought it from or whatever, it's gonna suck. Another thing that you need here in Colorado is a bill of sale. So make sure they have them online. You can print them off. You can even get them at the DMV if you want, but I think the DMV has the form online that you can print off, take it with you, have the person that's buying it, and you fill it out. So after I had all that stuff done, then I had to go get a VIN verification. This can be done at any police station here in Colorado Springs, or Colorado probably. You can do that. You can do it for free. It is volunteer based, and it's only like 3 times a day for a couple hours a day. So you always want to call right before you're going to bring your bus by to make sure that their volunteer is there and that they have availability for you. Otherwise, I just learned today at exhaust readers where I did my emissions test that they could have done it as well. They probably would have charged a fee, but it's up to you, whatever you want to do. So I had to get the VIN verification, make sure they mark motorhome on here. And just FYI, if you have anyone like the lady that I had, she was amazing. She was wonderful. She was so sweet, but she had not dealt with this situation before. And she was like, well, I can clearly see it's a bus. I can't mark it as a motorhome. And then she actually went in online to the DMV or to her like resource stuff that she had, and found out that because it no longer is in operation as a school bus, it is no longer considered a school bus. So then she was okay with marking it as a motorhome. So just make sure that you advocate for yourself there. It can actually be marked as a motorhome if it doesn't have the seats in it and it doesn't have, say, school bus or anything. It's not being used as a school bus, then it can be marked on that VIN verification as a motorhome. And so the next thing I had to go do was a weight slip. I actually just went up to Monument and pumped gas, and at one of the big truck stops, and they have a certified weigher there. So you just pull onto the weight thing. They usually have a phone number you can call, and then you just say, hey, I need a weight slip for my bus. It's not for a company, it's for personal use. They will print it off. I think it was like $12, maybe $14 to do that. And then the next thing I had to go do was I had to go to exhaust readers and get an emissions test. That was $120. And they just basically, you pull your bus up to the building and they will pull your bus out in the bay and out of the bay, which is super great. So you don't have to navigate any of their stuff. And, yeah, it was really easy, super great. And you know, if you don't pass, then that's a problem. And also, at least in Colorado, if you have any check engine lights on, it's an automatic fail. So make sure you don't have any check engine lights on before you go do your emissions test. I also had to fill out the statement of fact, where it basically just explains that I have 4 out of the 6 requirements for the vehicle to be titled as a motorhome. So I wrote down all of the things that I had, like a refrigerator, a heating system, plumbing, and separate bed, sleeping situations, refrigerator, whatever. So I did that. When I went in the first time to try and, well, the second time to try and register my bus, she also made me print off receipts and prove the modifications. I haven't always heard of people doing this. I think the guy that I dealt with today, my third time trying to register it, I don't even think he looked at them. So it probably depends on who you have. But I would just automatically like print off what you have, like what you've bought, get the receipts and just print it off. And that was it. I did have to pay sales tax, of course, and I then paid registration fees for the prior 2 years after having it. And so I totaled out at like, with a credit card fee, which was like $23, I paid like $903 to register my bus. And that does not include the late registration fee that I paid last time to get the temp tags. So it was a total of $1,000. But that includes, like I said, the sales tax and then the registration fees that are from the registration fees, and then the late fee on top of that. So yeah, it was a little costly, but it is what it is, and we move forward. But we are official. I don't have to drive my bus with my butthole clenched, thinking I'm going to get pulled over and get in trouble for driving it not registered. So this feels really great. And yeah, I can link all of the websites and things that I used down below in this video, just so you have it for your use. And yeah, just make sure that you check forums and stuff like that for your specific state, because it can be challenging. I think you can call the DMV. You just need to be very specific with them. Like, I have a diesel vehicle. It's a heavyweight vehicle. It's a bus. I'm going to be titling it as a motorhome. Like, what do I need to do? Okay, how do I prove that it's a motorhome? You know, making sure that you're asking the right questions, because if you just go in and you're like, hey, I need to title my vehicle as a motorhome, they have no freaking clue that you have a bus, that you have a diesel engine, that you, or a, you know, a diesel, yeah. And so it's just like making sure that you ask the right questions. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right answers, because that's kind of what happened to me. I was only told that I needed to get a VIN verification, and then I ended up having to get the VIN verification, the weight slip, the emissions test. And the lady at the VIN verification, she was so sweet, but she did tell me I didn't need to get a weight slip because my title actually had all that information on it. Wrong. That was wrong. I still had to get a weight slip. And quite frankly, I was kind of glad, because my certified weight slip actually came in way under what my title said. So that's a plus. I also didn't have any water in my tank, so make sure you don't have any water in your tanks when you do your certified weight slip. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you know, 3 times to the DMV later, I have it done, and I feel really good about it. So I am celebrating for sure. It's just a big deal. And yeah, now we're street legal, baby. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you don't put off registering your vehicle like I did. And yeah. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I am not a professional by any means, but I have experienced it. So you know, like, it just goes to show I always avoid things, and then when I do them, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad, you know? All of the people at the VIN verification places, all of the people at the emissions place, like, everybody is so nice, everybody is so chill. And so it really wasn't that big of a deal, but it was just the idea of taking this big ass bus and driving it places when it wasn't registered and doing all these things. And I'm not a bus expert by any means, so I drive it really well, but I just, like, you know, it was very unknown to me at the very beginning, and so I avoided it. But I'm glad that I got it done, because it's about time that I had it done, because this bus is going to be done soon. So, all right.